The one thing you probably don't have is the live perspective of someone who spent their life doing something that they love and trying to get better at it every day. I had the great advantage of being born into a family who greatly valued education. My family was remarkable in one sense. All four of my grandparents on both sides of the family, born in the 1890s, went to college. And that was something remarkable in those days, especially for women. My mother was a first grade teacher, and from her, I got a lifelong love of reading and of learning that served me well. In trying to describe what's happened to me, I said that I used all my education, training, and experience accumulated over a lifetime in just about 3.5 minutes. And that's a fair assessment of what happened to us. If I were to give you the life lessons I've learned, I would have to first tell you some of the lessons I brought with me from my father. He grew up during the Great Depression of the 1930s. He served in the US Navy in World War II. His family was economically challenged. He always had 3 jobs, 2 paper routes and being an usher in a movie theater. And when I was early in my adult years, he gave me a chance to read his diary. There were some weeks in the 30s when his father had to borrow money from him when he ran out of money before the end of the month. During that time in the 30s and 40s, I think there were 3 things that were common then that perhaps are not as common now. One was a very clear sense of civic duty. One, certainly in the 30s, was a sense of shared sacrifice and a lack of sense of entitlement. And the third was, particularly in the 40s, the World War II years, was a sense of duty or service before self. My father was a little bit older than the fathers of my friends, my contemporaries, and I think in some ways I was a bridge to what's been called the greatest generation. Growing up, I was good in school, I liked school, and my parents never insisted that I have certain grades. What they always insisted on, though, was that I do my very best. At the Air Force Academy, I continued my studies. I was very fortunate to have discovered early on my passion in life. I wanted to fly literally since I was 5 years old. And I was very fortunate at every juncture to get to the next level. I think having a passion early in life enables one to be good at something one enjoys. And if you enjoy what you do, you're likely to be better at it. It also gave me early on a sense of purpose for my life. And from purpose, I derived a great sense of satisfaction. And from that, I think I came up with meaning. I think one of the most fundamental things that we as humans need to do is to find for ourselves a purposeful life and not rely upon received wisdom to do it for us. Let me leave you with a particular poem that's always resonated with me, a final thought. This generation we're seeing now is the future. If you're familiar with the early 20th century Lebanese-American poet Khalil Gibran, this is from his On Children. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he also loves the bow at his table. Let's see where these arrows end up, and let's see what extraordinary things